I'm doing pre-production here, so don't mind me.
Andrea, I know a couple Andreas. I was actually in love with one when I was a child. Kirsten, I think. Rosemary. Holy crap, we got a lot of people. Did I share this?
I don't know.
Oh no, I forgot
You have
to.
like 1,000 followers, so how do I know?
Oh wait, hang on. Get it all the way to the bottom so we can see if anybody new comes in. Flip it the other way.
Mic's working, so should be good to go.
Yeah, we're good on your end. Oh, not too deep. Or at least that was her complaint.
That's what she didn't say.
Hey, she did say that, so you know. That's why I can make that joke. Plus, we're 18 and above. If anybody has an issue with that joke, there's the door. Get the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy peas.
Here we go with the crazy peas.
Hey!
What's up?
Oh. I'm TPAW.
Karnage 6778.
And it's Crazy Peas, in which we will be talking lots of Deadpool today.
And Wolverine.
Yes, and Wolverine.
Wolverine's
which
my
there
favorite
is
character next. Well, it's Wolverine first, then like Deadpool, and then a couple others. But those are the two main.
Yeah, which there's a fuckload of both of them in this movie. Like, oh my god, like.
Okay, first let's get rid of. Okay, it was funny that he was dancing to the, I think it was NSYNC song.
It was Bye Bye. It was Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah, by NSYNC.
Yeah, so
that one's NSYNC. At the beginning,
I
thought
swear,
that was fucking hilarious.
I swear I thought he was dancing to Britney Spears for some reason because it was like "Hit Me Baby One More Time" was used.
No, that was later on in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good,
I'm confusing parts then.
I mean, it was used for like the before the fight, you know, the backstory.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where we are. Okay, we're gonna fight. Wait a minute, backstory.
Yeah.
And then it did that in a couple spots where he was dreaming about the girlfriend who's no longer his girlfriend because he didn't have the balls to tell her, "You don't have to leave me. I love you. Stay with me."
Yeah, he was dealing with trauma. It was.
No, he was being a bitch.
Both.
Which isn't usual Deadpool. At
yeah.
least in the way it was shown in the movie, I'm like, well, that's kind of Deadpool, but that's also not Deadpool.
You know who I actually felt like was being more of a bitch
50-50.
in this movie, which was weird?
Which one?
Wolverine. Like, we get halfway through the movie
50-50 because it's not the Wolverine everybody else is used to, because where the 90s cartoon cut off.
Yeah.
Which is where Disney, I think that's why Disney did the X-Men 97 series. I mean, I've only gotten through, like, I think 2 to 5 episodes of that.
Yeah.
I might actually, just since I'm going to take a break from donating, I might end up watching all of that in the next few days. But it's one of those things that's the Wolverine from where it left off.
Yeah, no,
or where the cartoon left off, and that's how they.
By the way, it's been a week. There will be spoilers, but so rated us for spoilers.
I mean, if you
and
don't
R for
know
us.
what the hell the movie is, or haven't seen enough of it on your crap, then bye.
Yeah, no, I felt like, see, that's the thing, is I wasn't watching this movie with the idea that it was the same Wolverine from the previous series.
It's the Uncanny Wolverine. So
it's a different Wolverine
than the MCU Wolverine.
Which I knew what was happening.
I loved that.
Yeah, when I watched the trailers, I was like, this is a different Wolverine. And when everybody was all like, how are they going to use this Wolverine? I'm like, dude, it's a different Wolverine. Like,
if you don't know this Wolverine, clearly you are not a big enough fan of the MCU,
the
or just
way he
Marvel
was expressing himself, the way his body language was, the way his, because I get deep into it when I watch these movies. But like
you go deeper than I do
yeah.
because I go through it for the story first, and then I'll just insert my shit later.
Yeah. So I was watching how he was, and I'm like, you know, the thing is though is I do that criticization of like Wolverine saying, oh, he was being kind of a bitch in this movie. But it's also his only movie he's been in, and so this version, there's an entire arc over this movie.
Oh my god!
This movie was beautiful.
What a lot of people didn't understand, and you made a comment that you didn't understand part of it, and I had to tell you and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, there's parts of it that I was like, okay, well,
what the fuck is this?
This
why
part
is this
doesn't make
here?
sense. Why would they put that in there? And it's because of the fact
and
that
we discussed it that night.
Yeah, I get nitty gritty into it and stuff, and like sometimes I'll catch on to stuff that he does, and then sometimes he'll catch on to stuff I do.
Because I know the backstory for a lot of the Wolverine shit and a lot of the X-Men 97 stuff because I watched the entire series. So where you're like, this, I'm like, oh, that fits in here because of this and that universe and this, and you're like, the fuck? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You didn't. You're younger than me.
Yeah. No,
so the deep dive I did as a kid into
I spent
Wolverine
a lot of
way
my childhood watching the 90s cartoon, and I have vague memory of said 90s cartoon, so this movie will likely be a beautiful piece of cinema that causes me to re-explore that. But
oh yeah, you should definitely go watch it on Disney.
I know a lot about the Wolverine comic books, like Wolverine Origins, like which is why I enjoyed the Gavin Hood movie where they brought in the other Sabretooth, the different one, where it's actually his brother. And it was funny is when Deadpool references to him as his brother, and I'm like, oh, they're connecting that tissue. And so I enjoyed.
Mean, it's Deadpool, so.
Yeah, I enjoy the shit out of this movie because if you're a fan of Deadpool and you're a fan of the comic books, you will love this movie.
And the '90s.
If you're not
cartoon series,
if you're just a casual fan, then some of the stuff won't hit you because you'll be like, "What is that?"
You'll get lost.
Yeah,
fast as hell.
yeah, you won't know what's going on. But it's still a fun movie that has to. It's like a buddy comedy movie. Is what it is. It's like a road movie.
I liked all of it.
Yeah.
My favorite part was they let him stay in Deadpool's universe. I'm like at the end, so I'm like, fucker.
Oh yeah, no. When Kevin Feige recently gave an update that this will be the Wolverine for right now going forward. He used the language of "for right now," which means they do have a future Wolverine in mind. But for right now, he's going to be Wolverine.
That's the Henry Cavill one.
Yeah.
That's why they pulled it in.
Yeah, no, the montage. Yeah.
Yeah. They pulled that in.
I love that part. Like,
I thought it was funny. I'm like, okay, this is literally them saying, yes, it will be him.
Yes.
You guys haven't been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the movie, so that way we can transition into that.
Yeah.
Or at least that's where my brain went.
So, likely, the next two phases of the MCU will have Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine, and then likely the next couple phases
in the movie
will then be the next Wolverine.
Nice as, and it made it go no shit.
Yeah, exactly. See, I loved a lot of this movie because there's heart to it. There's a lot of heart. I was afraid that the movie would be a gimmick because of all the cameos, because of all the Easter egg stuff, all the other stuff.
And some of the little clips from the trailers.
And the clips from the trailers made it really seem like this movie could dangerously just be a gimmick movie where they play along with their toys, but there's not much more to offer, and the movie literally is just a movie for fun gags. Like, that was what this movie could have been. It turned out to be a movie about heart. Like, it turned out to be a movie about overcoming trauma, about overcoming the third stage of the arc of Deadpool. Because the first one was romance. The first one was a play on the romance story. Second one was a play on, if we stripped you of your ability to heal, could you get through that grief? And it was about family. This third one is about that next stage, which is about love. It's about...
and ending the story.
Yeah, different forms of love. And so, this is a really great way to give a send-off for Fox is Deadpool, to bring Deadpool into the Marvel verse of the MCU.
Especially with the whole TVA part.
Yeah. Fade says, "Hey guys, what's up, Fade? How you doing? You like Deadpool? That's what we're talking about. We're just talking about Deadpool straight up, because I personally love Deadpool the character. I love the guy. Like, there's the fun memes, there's the jokes, there's all the other stuff. The guy gives a fuck. And he goes through pain with humor. And so the character's about overcoming your trauma and your pain.
Who else is like that?
Right. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine are a perfect pairing because they both can heal.
They're the anti-hero.
Yeah, they both can heal. They're the anti-hero, but they also exist really well in tandem with each other because they feel everything that happens to them. One's a cancer patient, and one is a government operation. And they both technically were a government operation, so they both have a lot in common. And one's a straight man, one's funny.
Is the daughter.
Yeah, X-23. She was the next experiment.
What was the name they used? Lola?
Laura.
Laura.
Yeah.
I knew it was an L name.
Yeah, X-23. X-23's in this, and it's
Laura,
beautiful.
The way she told Wolverine, it's like, you were never the right guy.
Until you were. Yeah, until you were. Yeah, no,
and I loved that. I'm like, snatch.
Yeah, no, the daddy-daughter moment, like, ever since Logan came out, I've been craving another movie with those two in it, and now I got it.
So that way you get the final on it, and I love the way it ended.
Yeah, no, I even loved how...
those two separating, and her being in the void still, and being the leader of the resistance.
Oh, she'll be back.
That was awesome.
She'll be back. She's a young actress. They'll bring her back.
I mean... They better.
Yeah, you're gonna have you'll have a whole phase where she and him will appear in next movies because their characters were popular.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, no, and I love how in the final battle she's wearing the sunglasses and carrying the kitty backpack.
I'm having a brain fart. The guy who plays Blade.
Yes, Wesley
the
Snipes.
Old Blade, Wesley. Have you seen the little clip? I think I sent it to you.
You did, yeah.
The one where he's like, oh yeah, no, haven't talked to
Ryan in 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he made it happen.
Yeah. I better take this call, see what the hell it is.
Dude,
they said yes.
I didn't get to see Blade in the theater, so...
Oh, I did.
I was born in 91, so I didn't get to see Blade in the theater. I saw it on VHS. VHS.
My only bitch was the last one. Only came out on DVD. It didn't go to the theater. That was my only complaint.
Yeah, Blade Trinity didn't get to go to the theater, I don't think.
No, it didn't.
I watched
that
on
pissed
DVD.
Me the fuck off.
Yeah, no, I love the Blade 3.
But other than that...
yeah. No, I love Blade 3 because there's a lot of quotable lines in that. Like, people consider it goofy or they consider it, stupid or whatever, and I'm just like, dude, it's got one of the best lines in the movie, and it's said by Deadpool, where he's like, fuck me! He sees the other dog come out with his face opening up, he's like, fuck me sideways!
When he was playing the little, bitch vampire.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I love that movie. Like,
you turned human. Yeah, no, that was. Awesome.
It was a goofy, fun movie. That's the thing is, a lot of these movies, people used to go to see movies, like they'd shit on them after they went to go see it and had a good time.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, what do you want? But
do you want to enjoy it or not?
Right. And so I came into this movie because, one, it's a Deadpool movie, obviously, and it's got Wolverine in it. But I also was hoping that there would be some resonance to it, and it wasn't just a gimmick, like a marketing gimmick. And it wasn't. It was a very artful, if this is the only movie I ever give a Deadpool and Wolverine, I'll be like, all right, cool. It was a fun, one-time thing. I didn't expect Hugh Jackman to come back in the first fucking place. This is a gift to the fans.
As soon as Ryan made a clip that he was gonna get Hugh to come back, I'm like, oh, most definitely. They're like besties. This is like, homie, come on now. I even liked the marketing they were doing where he's like, where Ryan's like, we built our own Marvel Cinematic Universe with 2 movies, and I was trying to figure out what to do, and then it hit me. And then Hugh Jackman gets up off the chair and starts going upstairs. He's like, hey, Hugh, you want to play in Deadpool with me? And he's like, sure, Ryan. He's like, there you have it. Deadpool and Wolverine in the next movie. And I'm like, okay, that was brilliant. Have you seen the other clips, though?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the other
ones.
The
one about oh no, it was supposed to be Deadpool and Friend.
Yeah.
And we're like, fucking excuse me?
Yeah, no,
they're like, okay, we'll accept it. And then they did the Super Bowl Deadpool and Friend. Everybody's like, bullshit, don't you call it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was a couple different articles I read where apparently Ryan had pitched a couple dumb movies that they were going to fake film, and then they were going to put in front of the movie and then surprise everybody with Deadpool 3.
Yeah. And
then they decided not to do that, and I'm like, probably a good idea.
I mean, that's the 3-hour cut you buy on Disney.
Yeah.
It's like the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
But it's the Ryan Reynolds cut. Where all the other crap's included. And if it's not actually filmed, it'll be, they'll cartoon it in. And for everyone
wondering if an R-rated movie like Deadpool can make a bunch of money, it has shattered, all box office records.
In the last, few years.
Yeah, in the last few years, it is, currently right now it says it's the 6th highest grossing movie of 2024, and it's on its way up the board because it's only been a week.
It's
and
only
it's,
6. I was about to say because it's only been less than a week.
It's only been like a week, and it's already made like $500,000. So
no,
that's right, $500 million.
Half a bill or 1.5.
Yeah, $500 million. So 545 million or 545 million or something like that.
Last
it's
I heard,
made a lot of money.
Last clip I saw about it, it was and that was like a day or two ago.
Not that has any relevance on the quality of a movie, but for people that give a fuck about that and are like, "Is it gonna make money?" It is making all the money.
It made all the money.
Yeah, it is.
Hugh doesn't have to worry about anything. Ryan doesn't have to worry about anything. Plus, I like the part at the end where they're talking about if I do another Deadpool movie, my wife and my kids are going to divorce me and take everything.
Fun fact, my cell phone service, his cell phone service, my wife's cell phone service, Mint Mobile, which is owned by Ryan Reynolds. So every time I pay the bill, I'm just like, there you go, Deadpool, have fun.
Right. But I mean, I enjoy, all of it. And some of the stuff, you didn't understand some of it. And I remember what you told me you didn't understand, and I had to fill you in because it was part of the, comic book cartoon mesh-up.
Yeah, there was some of the stuff that I was like, what is that reference to? Because, on 1, I've had kids since then. 2, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. And 3, holy fuck, it's been a while.
No, I thought it was awesome. The best part is when they got to the void and thought they found Captain America, a variant of Captain America. And
they're like, we're saved, everything's great. He turns around and it's freaking Human Torch.
As soon as he said flame on, I'm just like, that character.
He does this pose, he's like, flame on! And I'm like, knew it.
As soon as he did it, I'm like, thought so.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right.
Because of the way that Ryan Reynolds does stuff and the way, obviously, they were going to write it, it's like, yeah, that's not Captain America.
You mean Chris Evans, the way
Yeah.
Because Chris Evans, he didn't have to come back, by the way, to play Human Torch. He really didn't have to. The veteran actors of the MCU are just like...
The one who played Elektra didn't have to come back. Wesley for Blade, and, I don't remember who they had for
They even
Gambit.
said dialogue in this movie that, Ryan wasn't the only one breaking the fourth wall. Elektra literally, looks at the camera and goes, we all deserve our send-off. And I'm just going, I see what you're doing here, and it's working.
I loved every minute of it. It was great.
Oh, yeah. No, when Blade first walks out in that hallway, and he first appears, I'm just like, oh my god, it's Blade!
My first thought is, fuck
yeah. I was just like, yes, just all of it, please.
Thank you.
Service the shit out of me.
Right?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah, and then
the best part though
was
the Wolverine going through all the universes. I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Because I sat back, watched the first one, and then he said that they were gonna do that. I'm like, okay, here we go. Hey, look, screen accurate.
Yes.
Or comic book accurate.
Comic book accurate. Yeah.
With the short one and with the brown and yellow suit.
Yeah, when he jumps off.
I like.
When Hugh Jackman jumped off the podium and the CGI was obviously done to make him shorter, I was like, hey, he's more relatable to me. I was like, I just saw this is great.
There we go, the real Wolverine.
Yeah, it's
tiny as fucking can still kill you.
Yeah, yeah. Because Wolverine in the comic is 5'3". He's not 6 foot. He is short, and so it's seeing him jump off the podium and being like that. I'm just going.
Up the little stool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is great. Actually, I love this.
My first thought is, and then he said the comic book accurate.
Yeah.
Deadpool did, and I'm like, here we go. Here's the fun.
Yeah.
Just sit back and...
We got so many bubs out of this movie.
Right?
It was every scene he was in, he's like, hey, bub. I'm just going, yes!
Right? The Henry Cavill one was the best, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, when he turned around, because Deadpool's like, that ass, that... Turns around, yes!
Yeah.
I'm like... Okay, they just gave a clue on what the next movie is going to be. This is going to be great.
Yeah, they gave a clue on what the next, like, it's going to be like phase, like, 7 or 8 is when he shows up.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Because they made the joke in the movie when Wolverine and Deadpool come back to the city that Deadpool was in as just Wade Wilson.
The origin universe of Deadpool movies.
Yeah, the kids are like, oh my god, it's Deadpool, it's Wolverine. And then Deadpool's like, yeah, he's going to be doing this till he's 90. Yeah. And I'm just like going, okay, that's either a joke and a play on the fact of, what everybody would say, or that's reality.
I think it's just a play on.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking it's like, he came back after he said he was retired. But I also like the little clip that they showed of him, like, doing interviews before the movie came out about him, like, oh no. As soon as I said I was going to retire, then I watched Deadpool 1, I'm like, oh fuck. That was like the best part of the interviews that have repeatedly popped up on my phone, and I'm like, yes!
Yeah, it's funny, is Hugh Jackman, he literally said that he is the one who called Ryan. Ryan didn't call him.
Oh no, he already knew.
He called up Ryan and was like, hey, we need to do this. We need to do at least one. And Ryan's like, done! It's like, let's do it.
It wasn't even asked the people. It's like, no. This is exactly what we're going to do. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's like, whatever you need to do, Kevin. Wait, which Kevin? You know which Kevin I'm talking about. Come on, I'm looking at you, Feige. And then, like, the friggin' jokes in this movie about, like, where she's, like, running down the list of cocaine jokes, and he's just like, they have a list. It's the only thing they said was off the table. It's like, do you want to build a snowman? I really badly want to, but I can't! Which was also in the trailer.
Yeah, I like that they went into that, and she's like, they do? They do.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And they repeatedly remind you of that in this movie. Like, there's so many jokes.
Especially at the end when they show back up at the house.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah,
part.
when they said that they were doing reshoot, or they had to follow the script during the strikes and stuff, I was like going, I really hope they let them do ad-libbing. But fuck, they did ad-libbing. Like, they likely did tons of ad-libbing, because a lot of the stuff where he was saying it, like, as Deadpool, like, you could honestly just, there was a lot of room that they can maneuver around. You could tell they filmed it a certain way to where you could ad-lib.
Oh, yeah. No. It wasn't just that. It's like, here's the script. Yeah, sure. Hey, look, they all went on strike. Fuck the script.
Yeah.
Now everybody can actually play the character as they see fit.
I don't know if you caught it, but there's actually a line in there where Deadpool makes a joke about the script in crayon.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were like asking
I just saw
him.
that. I just like, I chuckled without being too loud, because at the beginning of the movie, don't be too loud. I'm like,
yeah,
first on my head, you're screwed.
I loved it because I was like, nice, and Clips was like, you keep making references to the damn game, and I'm like, they probably pulled it from the game.
Well, I mean, a lot of the interviews I've seen before it and since it, I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this is gonna be a great movie.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I'm like, okay, here we go. Now they're just filling in all the blanks.
Yes.
Everybody thinks, and me and you were probably just sitting there going, well, duh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was funny because because in the void when they're fighting and stuff, and there's the part of the trailer, I loved how their first introduction of Wolverine in this movie is in the trailer, was a silhouette of him rather than the actual him, and then all you see is his back with the yellow suit, and that's your first clue that it's the yellow suit. And he's
which says it's the uncanny Wolverine, which makes it great.
Which is the different Wolverine. He's like, Glug, give me a hand here. SNIKT. Never mind, I'm having second thoughts. Like, this movie
was priceless, and at the same time, perfect for what it should have been as the third movie.
Yes. No,
The send-off to Deadpool, and the send-off to the proper Wolverine.
Yeah.
As everybody saw it.
Yeah, and if they keep doing more of these, like if they include Deadpool and Wolverine in like future movies, I'm completely fine with it. I'm just like going, dude, I'm good.
See, that's why I like what Ryan said. No more Deadpool. My wife will divorce me. You'll have to get somebody else.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you mean just like Hugh said? And then, here we go. My first thought is like, we'll see what happens in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be Old Man Wolverine, Old Man Deadpool.
Dude, that would be interesting as fuck.
Like, with Wolverine Apocalypse, that series.
Yeah.
When he's, like, old as shit, but, like, still beefy as
well,
fuck.
guess who's back in the MCU now? Robert Downey Jr. He is going to be Doctor Doom, which I wish they didn't reveal until after the movie was coming out. Like, I wish that
they did
left
that on
it
purpose
privately.
Do you know why they did that on purpose?
To get interest.
Oh, not just that. He's like, oh no, the fans will want to know. We have to do this.
Yeah, because he comes out on stage during Comic-Con and he's like, he pulls off the mask and he does this normal Iron Man stance and, you know, references to himself as I am Doctor Doom or I am Doom. And I'm just like going, okay, on one hand, I'm fine with that. On the other hand, I wish you buried the lead on this one. Like,
no, I get the logic.
Yeah.
But even him, and I don't know if it's because I see more interviews than you, because I have more free time because you're at work.
I am always at work, so there's a lot of times he'll ask me if I've seen something, and I'm just like going, no, not yet.
Okay, hang on, let me find it. Zing!
Yep. Yeah, no, I feel like the whole Deadpool saying he can't be Deadpool anymore is a total joke, though, because there's been so many times where he said stuff like that, and I'm just like going, that's bullshit. And then I find out later on it was just him taking the mickey.
I mean.
And I'm sure that with them, when they make $1 billion at the box office, Blake will be like, never mind, we like the checks.
He's going to be like, mine! He's like, bitch. Don't
Yeah.
forget my gun. Here you go, Q. Here's yours. What are you doing? I'm paying people. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have a feeling that there will be more Deadpool. Like,
and you know as soon as it comes out on Disney, and they're like, pay for the week early. You know how many people are going to fork out the cash for that shit just to
I would.
Crank watch it?
Yeah. I would. Like, I'm...
This will be the biggest thing Disney's done in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, they
needed
actually
it makes money.
They needed it, too. With how many movies they've had that have flopped
and
or
a
that
couple
have
of the series that
not
have gone
done so
crooked.
great.
Yeah.
Dude, Disney has literally had to close down parts of their theme park.
Because they've screwed themselves.
Because they've lost shares and stuff like that. Like, I've been seeing the reports, like, for... When I wasn't, like, working all that overtime, like, I was looking at all sorts of reports.
Oh, I've been paying attention for the last 5 years straight. It's like...
Between Marvel, the MCU, and
Fox.
between Star Wars, it has been tanking hard. And so they needed this. Like, there's a reason why Deadpool and Wolverine happened. It's because they've, like, money. And they know that Wolverine will bring the money.
Well, not just that. It's like, Ryan Reynolds, yeah, sure, fuck it.
Yeah, like, they know that... Because, see, that's the thing is...
Because you get the fights from the executives, and it's like, don't listen to what the fuck they said.
Yeah, well, not only that, but, like, Deadpool was kind of always known as being the underdog type of movie thing, where when it made $1 billion or made close to $1 billion, they'd just be like, oh my god, I can't believe Deadpool was able to make that much money. And so...
And anybody who's a true Deadpool fan is like, are you stupid?
Right. So when they tagged Wolverine onto this, I'm just like going, well, there's an entire legacy here. This is going to make money.
There's at least $3 billion flat.
Yeah. Like, the first $1 billion at the box office
because
and the next $2 billion for the
is,
DVD sales.
Like we were talking about earlier, is go to the movies and then it's gone. This one, oh no, this one's not going to be you get a month and it's gone. No, this son-of-a-bitch is going to be at least 2 to 3 months in the theater because of how much they're making right now.
Yeah, I tried to buy popcorn
like me
buckets.
And you and other people, dude, they were all sold out when I got there.
Yeah.
At fucking 1:30.
We showed up before he did at the exact same theater, and I asked for the popcorn buckets, and the lady was like, we sold out. And I'm like, the movie came out today. Technically last night. And
yeah, they had them on display, and everybody said, I want it!
Yeah, no, it was gone. Like, we showed up at 11.
I was pissed.
11 in the morning. 11 in the morning when it should be sold out, and it was sold out.
Matinee.
Yeah, at matinee, the day it came out, and it was sold out. And I'm like,
the hell?
This movie better make $1 billion with that happening.
That alone is not counting how much they made box office. That's just extra merch.
Yeah, they are making money out the ass with merchandise. So, if he's like, I don't know if I can be Deadpool anymore. I'm like, truckload of money just showed up at your house.
Not even a truckload. Here's 5 more matches for shits and giggles. Cool, I'll have something to sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't even have to lead his own movie. He could just be the supporting character. Because that's usually what they do.
He just shows up for one scene, walking in the background.
Yeah, he shows up for a part of the movie. It's like 20 minutes of screen time. And he's like, okay, gone. That was the easiest $5 million I've made.
Right.
So it's like, hello. Like, especially on X-Men First Class, when Wolverine was in there for, like, a scene.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the movies he was appearing in, it was, like, one scene or two scenes, and that was it.
Yep.
Like, that is, you know...
Same sort of shit.
Yeah, it's like a day or two of shooting, and then, here's your paycheck. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Hey, look, I made $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And all I did was sit on my ass for 5 minutes. Cool.
Yeah, he literally did. First Class, he's literally sitting at the bar. Like, if you're watching the movie, like, the camera is positioned in front of the bar so that you see Hugh Jackman sitting there, and then you see the two younger actors who are playing young Xavier and young Magneto come in, and then they come in, they're like, hey, we want to talk to you about, and then Wolverine goes, fuck off. And then they walk out, and they're like, okay, bye, and then the scene's over. And it's literally like 1 day of shooting.
Not even, probably 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it was barely anything. He has one line, and it was very Wolverine-like.
That's why I like in Futures of Days Past, the younger Xavier said, I'll tell you what you told me. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yep, call back. It was like the one F-bomb. It's like, here's your one F-bomb. What do you want to do? Let's do it in the first movie, only this time he says it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, I love... See, that's the thing is, I love the X-Men movies, overall. Like, he'll hear me gripe about them here and there, and he'll be like, well, what'd you do? And I'm like, I would do this, this, and this, and this. And he's like, well, when we get show up with a truckload of money and get a chance to write the script, I'm like, and I would. And we just go back and forth. But, like, at the end of the day, these movies are the reason why I am the writer I am today. Like,
but see, here's the freak part. It's like Twilight. You're like, ugh, this, ugh, that. And me and you spent... Y'all would have to go back on his channel.
Oh yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago, we rewrote Twilight.
We rewrote Twilight better than the original. No
and
offense.
I killed half the cast.
I mean, it played into the story you were running and the story I was running because we were bouncing back and forth between our stories. We need to mesh them together or just keep them separate. Change the name of the movie and.
It would either have been a 3-part story, or it would have been a really long 4-part story that was far more bloodthirsty. Rated R.
Wow.
You could make it PG-13 and imply the deaths, but you know, it's less fun.
Fuck that. I'm sorry, I would do exactly what Ryan did. Oh, we're gonna get rated R. Cool. We're making the movie.
Yep. Yeah, because I like to play with R.
What rated R is now is nothing like it was way back.
Yeah,
then.
that's true. Like, there's some times where I'll be watching a show and I'll
like PG-13
yeah,
or
like
PG,
TVMA will show up on the screen as what it's rated or whatever, and I'll just be like, okay. Or I'll be watching the movie and it'll be R because they either rated TVMA or they rated R, and I'll be watching and I'll be like, they're doing more stuff now than they did back then when I was a kid. They're like getting away with way more. Like, huh?
It's everybody's become so desensitized to it. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and then you know, as a writer, you're just like, I can do more with my storytelling if I stay with that rating. Hell, this guy over here, okay, I come out my break.
The Karnage.
I come out my break, and you know, because I take, like, short breaks, because I feel like if I take...
like a 5-10 minute break.
They gave me an hour for my 12-hour days, and I, like, literally stretch that bitch out as much as I can till I get to the end. Because then, like, by the end, I'm like, okay, here's a 15, okay, here's another 15, that's half the time. First half of the shift, I've sprinkled it in. I stretched that bitch out. I come out on a 10-minute break. He's having a cigarette. I decided to have one just because it's 12-hour day. I'm just like, I need the fucking straight nicotine. And I'm sitting there. I'm sitting down next to him, prepared to talk to him or prepared for him to say something to me about something he saw or something, or him to show me something. This motherfucker over here is writing a porno to a lady.
Oh, you're gonna bring that up.
Okay. Like, I won't go into all the details, but it was really saucy.
Don't go into any of the details.
It was saucy as hell, and I'm like,
he should be a porn director.
Yeah, that's essentially what I thought. I'm like,
you literally said that.
Yeah, I was like, well, that was some fun erotica I just listened to. Because he doesn't do texting. He doesn't text with his fingers.
Because of my disability.
Yeah.
So I do speech to text.
So he does speech to text. So here I am.
I only actually text if I have to backtrack and rewrite a word or fix a sentence.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there just doing this, piping puffs and shit, and I'm sitting there and I'm like deep in thought about what the next stretch of the day, and I'm like, let's get through this. And as I'm getting in that mentality, I'm literally over on my right hearing an audiobook coming out of his mouth, and I'm like, oh, really now? What else are you... Oh, wow, you're gonna go. Oh, that too. Oh, and you're gonna go for. Oh.
I'm like, oh, what? This is what I would actually do, and then I just keep going.
Yeah, I'm just like, because people around us, like, they'll
they
meet
don't
him,
have a clue.
They'll talk to him and stuff, and they'll make their assumptions or presumptions, whatever.
I mean, most people do.
And they'll think, I've heard from, like, Alan, for instance, who's in jail right now for stupid reasons, but anyways. From Alan.
And people at the gym.
And other people, and they're like, oh, he's just a big talker, he just talks a lot of smack. And I'm just like going, really now?
Y'all clearly don't know Karnage.
Yeah, like this guy over here.
I don't talk a big game, I am the game.
Yeah, he will literally sit there and talk to somebody and literally write, like, speech to text erotica, and I'm like, I need to step up my game.
You made that comment before you went in. I'm like, what? I give you ideals in more than one way for writing and otherwise.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, okay.
I was like, that was interesting. Intriguing.
And I said, I'm not even done. And then I went right back to it.
Yeah. I start walking away, getting ready, because I'm like, I gotta go back, whatever. And so as I get up and start going back, I start hearing in the background more of what's going on. And I'm like, and now my wheels are turning in, or am I horny?
Apparently, I have that effect. See, and here's the funny part. You're like, how are all these women, like, coming at you? It's the beard and it's my aura. It's like, come, you want to learn how to have sex and properly orgasm? Come to me, I will teach thee.
It's like he's the walking Kama Sutra.
I mean, you ain't wrong. Wasn't that the last girlfriend's bitch? God, you're too good at everything. You know too much. It's like, and that's a bad thing? No, but I can't handle it.
She did. Like, I was talking to her when he wasn't around, so I could get
a few times I ran
so I could
off.
get like a take of like what is there when he's not there, and she went into it, and I'm like, why are you complaining?
Right.
Like, I literally looked at her and went, normally chicks go apeshit nuts for this shit, and they're like really into it. Why are you bitching? And she looked at me and went, what are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, like, chicks would kill for that.
That, yeah.
Like, I go on Twitter, and my stretch of Twitter is usually writing people trying to get people to talk to them, or horny chicks.
I mean, all of mine is tits, ass, and puss everywhere, so I'm just like, okay, cool. You want something funny, or you want something, they're trying to get the thing, and I'm like, bink, there's a line you want.
And I've seen a lot of talk about people being like,
and you've seen me, I've gotten like, I've shown you, I've gotten like 1,000, either actual, I think half of them, or more than half of them are actual females, the other half are bots. Because you're going to get the bots anyways. That are pretending to be big titty bitches.
I can't count how many times I went outside to go vape, and I would tell him, I'd be like, that's a bot. And he'll be like, well, I'm just going to play with game with it anyway. And then there was a couple times where he, like, played into it too much and bought a gift card, and he's like, well, now I got $20, because the fact that the bot turned out to actually be a bot, like I was saying. And then he's just like, well, I guess you're right about that one thing. I'm like, yeah, you and the crusade for the mission.
You always make the joke.
Yes.
I'm going for a heroin. I'm like, well, I'm not there yet. I don't have 30. I still gotta get there.
I straight up told him, like, I would have been fine with 5.
That's amateur hour. And then you look at me like I'm fucking apeshit nuts. But, I mean, when you heard me do the erotica thing, you're like, oh no, he could definitely get 30.
I'm just like, yeah, no, he would go for 12 hours straight if he really could, if they let him.
I mean, I could. I just need the right medication. Who is this random guy that showed up on the porn scene and, like, took over every fucking role?
This guy has fluctuated between 225 pounds and like 180 or 190, right?
174 was my lowest.
Which is where I normally am, which is 180. One time I got to 178.
Oh, you're talking about
175.
Okay, keep going.
And this guy went from 200 pounds, which is his normal fluctuation because he's kind of older, body's different, and he had sex with this last girlfriend.
Would you say the ex?
Yeah,
cover everybody's ass.
Yeah, he had sex with her a lot, and
for 2 months straight.
And then he went to the gym to go weigh himself, and he was weighing 174. He dropped like 26 pounds just by fucking.
I am a god. I don't over-exaggerate. I tell the truth.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or you hate it, I don't care either way. I tell the facts from my point of view.
Yeah.
And with the ex, you literally saw because you went to talk to her and she's like, oh my god, this, and this. And you're like, every other bitch would be like, yes, thank you, may I have another?
Yeah, they'd be dropping on their legs and going, okay, I'm ready.
Or bending over, just put it in a hole. I don't care.
And that's not me even being sexist whatsoever. I've seen chicks do it.
That's factual.
Yeah, like
that's why I always find it funny when girls are like,
that.
I love you, or I would love to be in your pants. So I'm like, well, then get the fuck over here.
Yeah.
I got no bullshits. I got no hold backs. You want some? Come get a lick of this fucking popsicle, bitch.
Yeah.
I am so straightforward and honest.
Started to
any woman I've been with that, I mean, dude, that last ex-wife couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
She made the same complaint my last ex made.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much too often.
Yeah, no, I literally...
Then you better fucking dial your shit in, bitch, because this is me all the time.
A fucking hour of me being out there with them, just, like, vaping and trying to chillax and everything, and literally that's what she was talking about. And I'm like going, I'm surprised.
What's the complaint?
And she's like, wait, what are you surprised by? And I'm like, normally... I can't count how many times I've been on Twitter or any other media and I've watched women complain because they don't get that. And she's like, well, I'm different. I'm like, I'm sure you are. I'm not faulting you for it. But
it came up with conversations with her. The reason she's faulty and doesn't want that is because she's been with men who don't know how to fuck. One, or two, have low sex drive. If you have a low sex drive and you have a penis, there's something broken in you. Fuck off, get out my way.
Yeah, no, she talks about that. And I was like going, okay, but if he's giving you what you want, then what's the problem?
She's like, I gotta walk tomorrow at work. No, you don't. I got a wheelchair.
That's the guy in the wheelchair. We call him Karnage on wheels sometimes just for fun.
I have my days.
I literally was like, do I call you Wheels or Karnage on wheels? And he's like, I'll take either one. And I, of course, was playing off of Charles Xavier with him being called Wheels because that was what Wolverine called him in the first movie where he walked up to him. He was like, because everybody had a code name, and Wolverine's like, what do they call you? Wheels?
I remember that. That was great.
Yeah. And he's like, so we just kept calling him Karnage on wheels. And he just...
Anybody who didn't know was like, what?
Yeah. They're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, he's Karnage, and now he's got a wheelchair, so he's Karnage on wheels. What more is there to get? Or do I have to spell it out?
They're like, why do you call him Karnage? Because that's what and who he is.
Yeah, that's his technical nickname if you go by legalities.
It's not even my persona. It's
just himself. It's just for social reasons, he goes, it's technically the nickname, even though that's pretty much his, him.
Personality.
Yeah.
It's like from Spider-Man, I'm like, oh no, he's a weakling. Then they're like, oh fuck. When I tell somebody that and they go, their eyes bulge, I'm like, you get it.
Yeah.
Now watch the fun. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was super interesting and funny watching that happen. And so when I was listening to this story, because that's what he was telling me when we went to the gym, he's like, I've been writing stories, and I'm like, you've been writing? That's cool. And he's like, yeah, voice to text. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, and they're dirty. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I started watching him write them, like voice to text wise, to this lady, and I'm like, oh wow. Okay.
I sent you one.
Saucy.
One day for shits and giggles, I'm like, oh yeah, you were talking about, you wanted to see the story because the last one.
And I was like,
last one, you're like, that's interesting. That gives me some ideas. Here you go. Here's another idea.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
I literally took it, grabbed it, like copied and pasted it because it's a text message, and then put it in my docs so I could look at it for later.
Nice.
And that way I could pull from it or utilize it, whatever.
So that way you don't have to do the year-old scroll. Where the fuck is
Yeah,
it?
I hate that shit. I don't have enough time for that.
Right?
I used to, but not anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why every once in a while I'm like, da-da-da-da-da. You already asked that. I don't remember. It's been a couple days.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't have to scroll back for 3 hours.
Pretty much, because I will literally sit there for an hour trying to look for something, and I'll be like, God damn it, why didn't I just log it somewhere? And so, like,
I started doing that with some things. It's like, no. That's in this chat profile to myself. This many clips back. I know exactly.
So you know what I then did? I read it out to your sister and didn't tell her it was you.
My erotica.
I read it to her. She was so turned on. I was like, so erotica is a genre I need to pursue then.
or something I need to pursue, and here you go.
Yeah.
Just make sure you put my name on the fucking cover. I don't care.
Just like co-written by Karnage.
90% erotica by Karnage. Other part regular story by TPAW. Have my part like they used to do in the old Jesus Bibles. My part's all the red parts. That way you know when you get into a spicy scene. Oh, this is next page.
Yep. And then, like, as a joke in the book, like, at the very beginning, it's like, this story has been rated K for Karnage. They're like, wait, yes! Wait, Karnage is a new rating? Just keep going. You'll learn.
No, right underneath it, when they go, huh? You will find out. Just keep reading. The red is Karnage. Yep. Like, the fuck? And then they'll get into it. They're like, oh. Up. Fuck your quadruple X, bitch. Yeah. Come to the dark side, for I am God.
Yeah. It's like,
I'll have every woman wet, every guy hard, and nobody will not get laid, motherfucker. Yeah. Just put me on a podium in front of a camera. I hope your kids aren't in the room. If they are, you're fucked. Here we go!
If it's any indication, you guys know American Pie. He makes...
Oh, that's amateur.
He makes Stifler, the Stiffmeister, look like a pussy.
I mean, it is what it is.
And I remember when I was a teenager.
When I get into it,
when I was a teenager, Stiffmeister was a pretty big deal. He makes him look like a pussy.
It is what it is.
But you know what? Jim is still a pie fucker.
It is what it is. I saw that, I'm like, I would never. But that sounds interesting. just the thought of, it's warm, it's doughy. That's why you just use a donut right after.
And I still make Russell look puzzled as hell when the wife says she's getting pie, and I'm like, should I fuck it?
Nice! Yes! See, we went from Deadpool to making their own jokes about our own bullshit.
Oh,
I love this.
That's what we do.
Yeah, right?
Like, we don't need to have, Ryan for us to be funny.
No, we are our own Deadpool Wolverine combo in our own unique way.
Yeah,
that's like
we both have...
say, I'm Jay to your Silent Bob, even though you're not silent.
Yeah.
Which makes it great.
Yeah, the TPAW is not silent. Half the time when you do go on your long tangents, I do kind of just go and just like talk with my body, and then I'm silent.
But I love it when we can do this and we're just bouncing back and forth.
Yeah,
I love this shit.
Exactly. And we both have. That's the thing that was interesting and awesome about this movie is we both have our own inner Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Like I was reflecting on that a lot this last week. I'm like, I have my own inner Wolverine. It's the tough guy that goes to the gym, that can go berserk mode, and then I have my own Deadpool that pisses off everybody except for him.
Like I said.
Yep. Like, not too many times have I ever ended up with him pissed off at me in some way. Like, it's weird. Nope. It's so interesting.
Because, no offense to everybody in the world and everywhere in existence who might exist, when you get pissed, you're letting somebody else control you, which makes you a bitch.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
That's fair. Yep.
That's kind of the Deadpool thing too. Oh, you got offended.
Yep. Yeah, we were at the gym one day and we were making commentary on that because there was a guy next to us that was like asking us about it because he was like, "How do you guys get through that with the way you guys act towards each other?" And then we kind of went into it a little bit, and then he playfully flipped me off, and I playfully flipped him off, and he's like, "Love it to you, bro." And they're like, "The fuck?"
just the way we're built.
Yeah. We were in the hot tub, and this guy was like talking about, because he was getting obviously pissed.
Oh, the guy was lit at me.
Yeah, and then like as he got out of the pool, he looks at me as if he thinks it's safe, and I'm like, I mean, it's what you were probably thinking in your head. In fact, you're probably thinking about that about him right now as he's walking away. You just don't want to say it to him, and he's just like, and I'm like, and I just look at him, and I'm like, ha ha.
Oh yeah, because they used to do that a lot, especially when there was a lot of people in the hot tub. I'd sit there, I'd sit down, and I'd just randomly talk about whatever, or what are y'all talking about? And then I just snatch the conversation, like I do, and just go, fine, here we go!
I even asked him if he wanted it in crayon.
Nice! Nice!
And the guy was pissed at me next, and I'm like, yay! I get to take a turn.
It's always fun when we can do that. Or when I walk off from the hot tub early and there's like 4 or 5 other people in the hot tub, and then you tell me on the ride home, oh, you pissed them all off.
Yep.
Goal accomplished. We're good.
Yeah, it's funny because when I visited my brother recently, I was a lot less chameleon, and he was
straightforward.
He was so fucking shocked. He was just like,
he's like, the fuck.
And then the next day, apparently after he went camping and he had time to reflect and deal with it, he came back and he's just like, hey, what's up, bro? And he was completely different than what he was that day. And I'm like, okay, so you're getting accustomed to it finally.
Right? You get accustomed to the crazy or you burn.
Yeah. I'm
just like, hey, look, stupid shit and lunatics and carnage all around me. Chaos. Love it. Okay, I'm in my place.
Yes.
It's like, what are you doing? Talking to 30 women all at the same time. How many are you actually interested in? Like 1.
Yeah. He's being entertained by the other 29.
I mean, you gotta get your entertainment somehow, motherfucker.
Yep. Yeah, no, I see.
Plus, I also entertain them, so I might as well get fun at entertaining other people. That's why I love doing this.
He's got the energy for 30 of them, and me, I'm just like, I'll settle for 5. Or the 1. You know, whatever. Besides, she had so many altars for the longest time that I essentially did have that number.
You had a harem.
Yeah.
Just all contained in one entity.
In one body, yep.
No, we've made jokes about that one before.
Oh, yeah. She made the jokes, too. Like, we'd be in
most
different social places, and she'd be like, well, my husband has his own personal harem, and they're like, are you okay with that? And she's like, I'd hope so. It's my body. They're just like, what?
And those who don't get it won't ever get it. Those who know go.
Yeah.
And just walk off.
Yeah, Jonas just kind of goes, I mean, I'm not sure how to respond to that, but cool. And I'm just like going, accept it and ride the train.
Right?
Because it's like, what else? That's another thing, a reason why I wanted to get another Deadpool movie, though, is to see him go into those aspects of his character they haven't done yet. Which is
just for shits and giggles.
The schizophrenia, the craziness, the, you know, some of the areas they haven't done yet. I was expecting it in this trilogy, but I'm like, I guess they're going a little bit more commercial friendly.
I think it's funny how he doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But when he looks at the fourth wall of the camera.
Yep.
And says the thing, that's where everybody else thinks he's schizo.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays into it.
Yeah, they play into it. They play off of it. It's like lightly dusted rather than like full on just.
Oh yeah, because the editing with that, hearing all the voices in his head, dude, the people in the theater were like,
yeah.
I can't deal with it. It's like, you can't deal with it in a movie. I deal with it on the daily. Plus,
yeah. Pretty much. Like I was sitting there like going, watching it. A lot of times I've been watching how people have been reacting to this movie in general. And I'm like going, you know, they didn't even really touch on half the shit really. It was mostly just a fun movie.
And that was the point of it.
And that was the point of it. And yet people are still going, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? I'm like, because it's fucking Deadpool. Hello?
Like, have y'all not learned?
Like, my uncle was like, how many F-bombs are in this movie? I'm like, it's rated R. And he's like, oh, well, how many rated F-bombs? I'm like, I didn't count. I just laughed.
Right? Right?
I will say, quite a few.
Even Hugh did a couple. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, we got the real Wolverine.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I this movie very much felt like it was so accurate to the comic book. I was like, yeah, they didn't make this movie for children.
Nope.
Nor was it a fake out to try to get children to come. Do you know what's funny? Children are showing up anyway.
Right?
and their parents are bringing them because it's funny.
Well, that kind of goes into like the was it veteran dad bod?
Yeah.
His stuff that I watch where it's like Gen Alpha or Gen X squared, they're gonna ruin the world, and I hope I'm here to watch it before I die.
Yeah.
With the
I watch him a lot.
I just sit back and go, this is gonna be fun.
I watch him a lot.
People are
and
gonna get stupid and talk out of their ass. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, I watch him a lot, and I'll often sit back and go.
I've sent you a couple of them.
I'm getting older because I completely get this.
Right?
It was like that's a mood.
I mean, he's 10 years older than me, but I'm still like, yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
it's like you're not a
50s.
Gen X. I'm like, no offense, y'all got the numbers wrong, because you cut off the freaking boomers before the boomers were actually done, and you cut off the Gen X before we were finished.
Yeah.
Because some of us, like me, 83, but I'm as Gen X as you can get.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna bring it. Let's see how much pain you can withstand. I know how much I can. Do you know how much you can?
Yeah, exactly.
And especially with my disability, it's twice as much as everybody else. So it's like, bring it. Not the first time, won't be the last time.
It's funny
Let's play this
when
game.
I told Dad earlier today that I'm like, because I talked to my dad on the phone today.
I heard some of it.
He was giving me commentary on what he thought of the movie, and he loved it. Like, he loved the shit out of it.
Well, yeah.
But he was like going, guys, Tammy, Josh, you're gonna shit your pants if you watch this movie because it's not made for you. But like, when I made the joke that I was raised Gen X, he was just like, because I told him I was like, well, I was raised 90s. He's like, I know, I'm the one who helped raise you. And then I'm like, and a bit of 80s, and he's like, well, duh. And then I made the comment about how I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm a millennial who's got a Gen X mentality, and he's like, I know, I was there.
Of course.
And like, he's just like, hello.
Well, I mean, but you like doing the commentary, so you're just.
Yeah, I often tell people I'm a hybrid of both generations. I'm millennial and Gen X at the same time. I raised eyebrows too.
I'm a 70s, 80s, and 90s kid here.
Yeah.
80s kid because do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care, just don't die. Yep. Especially by Nanny. Mom was a little bit more tight because I don't want you to die. What's it complaining about?
Live will end. It's the puzzle.
Thing.
It's the puzzle bullshit.
Oh, you missed. Hang
Oops.
On. Grab the bottom. See if you can move it.
Alright.
It is
Then I got full frontal of me. Or not. Whoops.
Don't punch it. Unless she asks for it. Up to the elbows, bitch! I mean, anywho, we were...
Yeah, no, it's funny, because I thought it was awesome because I got to talk to my dad about it, and normally it takes a while to get to that point. And no, he called me to talk to me because my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, Phoenix, and he's like, so I got her this, got her that, and I'm like, wow, she's gonna be all frozen. And then it's like, we got her frozen stuff, and he got her frozen stuff, so she's gonna be all like, frozen. And then we took time to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine and this and that.
Yeah, you came outside for that, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah. I talked about where I am and where I've been. Called back to previous conversations to kind of remind him because he's getting kind of older, and he's just so like he was talking into that a bit. But it got real fun when we were talking about Wolverine and Deadpool because I'm like, he's the motherfucker who made me go to the theater. Like, he's the one who created and curated the theater experience for me. So, talking to him about it was cool. And then, he also loves Wolverine, because I grew up with him taking us to go see X-Men. And, all the X-Men's. And then,
right.
And then you got Deadpool, which is more of my favorite, less so his. He came probably for Wolverine. And then, because he also had all the Wolverine comic books. So, when growing up, one of my first, I think it was Cass's age. I was 8 years old when we went to the swap meet, and they had a couple action figures at their booth. And this is back during the days when comic movies were not known to be big like this. Like, so the action figure I grabbed wasn't the movie Wolverine. It was the Wolverine from the comic book or cartoon.
No.
Where he's Weapon X.
yellow and brown one were in the movie where he's like, oh,
this one was wearing blue and brown, and he had
that one.
And he
I
had
like that one
he
too.
had the eyepiece that flips down over his eye.
I know which one you're talking about.
And he's got what looks like a gun on his arm.
That's I know which one it's from. I don't know which. It's a suit, but it's part of like the Weapon X stuff.
Yeah, he was telling me that I was Cass's age, and he was explaining to me that it was from the Weapon X program, and it was that whole arc where he's working
for the government.
Working for the government, and he's wearing the eyepiece, and it was before he was Patch.
Yeah. And
he's got the claws were fully extended and everything, and so when I watched the movies, I was like, this is nothing like what I remember. I was like, they toned him down. They made him a motorcyclist and a boxer, apparently, and, made him chop wood, and, he's wearing leather and shit, so he's got kind of the Wolverine, and then he's got the black suit.
They picked the funniest ones, or the ones that most people would know, to get the, oh, I know that one, oh, and I'm like...
No, in this one, yes. In the original X-Men from Bryan Singer, they dumbed it down considerably.
Yeah, The
closest you get to Wolverine, is that bar scene at the beginning of the movie. Is when he's confronting the guy, and he's holding his claws out like that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But
that's the closest Wolverine it was.
Each version of Wolverine, comic books or otherwise, cartoon and whatnot, enjoy the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, no, that's... I'm not taking it away from
X-Men. I don't even know which
Bryan
X-Men
Singer
series it was, but I think it was like one of the last one or two.
Yeah.
That they tried to do where he's like the daddy Wolverine. It's like, well, you're all young little pieces of shit. Not like he can smack you around till you fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, you're trying to mild down Wolverine. You're a bunch of idiots, but I'll watch it. Let's see how this plays out.
I kind of see him coming back for, because it's a new, different, it's an uncanny Wolverine, as you pointed out. And seeing this new X-Men team, and then them actually making Rogue more like the Rogue from the comic, where she's wearing the yellow and shit, and has got the white in her hair.
Nice.
Like, I can see them doing the newer X-Men being like the original comic, and then this Wolverine gets to interact with her and actually be the Wolverine from the 90s show. Like, I can see that. That's part of why I think that it's going to be a whole phase or two, because after the multiverse is done, which is what they're heading into, is the mutants first.
That's where they're going with a lot of it.
He's going to be playing Wolverine for a good while, and then Henry Cavill's going to come in.
I think it might be the Henry Cavill pulling the uncanny version from his point of view.
Yeah. You think that Hugh Jackman's not coming back then?
No. This was the one that he said he was going to do to finish it all. For him, it's finished all because now he's in the Deadpool universe.
Yeah.
Because it's like the whole multiverse shit. But it's outside of where the next set of X-Men coming into the MCU.
See, I'm leaning that direction as well. Because before this movie even came out.
X-Men comic book Wolverine or the Uncanny X-Men. But if they do on the Uncanny, they have to shift some stuff or show some stuff where it's like the shift in the timeline because Deadpool did what he did in the movie, that now it's the Henry Cavill.
See, and I'm mixed on that, because I'm like going, on one hand, I could see it being a one-off, right? That's what I think it is. It's a one-off.
I get that.
The cynic in me is going, this is a one-off. Like, this is your one time to be able to see them together in a movie, and they're having fun with it, and that's what makes it special and a big deal. And then later on, they're going to have someone else play him. But because of what Kevin Feige said in a couple of the articles, because he said in a couple of the articles, he said, Hugh Jackman is our Wolverine for now. I'm like, oh, so you're going to transition a new Wolverine in. You're not going to throw a new Wolverine out right out the gate.
I think it'll be a part, like, at the beginning of the story of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Where they kind of went into it with the X-Men movies and Wolverine, X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
I think it'll be part of that, but it'll be like the comic book where he's in the big tube. It'll be Hugh going in, but with the transformation with the adamantium into the bones, the way they did it in the cartoons.
Like another take of Wolverine Origins, but better.
And that's what he'll change physically into Henry Cavill.
Interesting take.
Because of the way the adamantium messed with his body and adjusted it.
I'm not
that's
sure.
What pops into my head. It'll be a weird thing where
he already has the claws in this, though. Like the metal claws. He already has the skeleton. So I'm not sure if that's what it's going to be.
But if it's going backwards, they're going to properly tell the story.
Yeah. No, I get what you're talking about. It's probably another prequel.
Yeah. That's where I see they could do it if they do it properly.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Or even though he has the healing factor, him getting the shit beat out of him by the Hulk.
Yeah.
Is what makes his physical face change slightly.
Dude, so they're hinting at the Hulk. They're hinting at Wolverine.
Oh no, I saw that.
Like they're already hinting at it. Ah! They're hinting at it, but they're also like, because I remember.
We're not gonna admit to shit.
Yeah, like they're hinting at that, but they're also like recently they've been posting things, like Marvel's been posting things that hint and imply that Wolverine versus Hulk is gonna happen, and then they're gonna have a couple different movies that will have Hugh Jackman in them before they transition into.
Because you have Wolverine and the Hulk, and there's who's the other superhero and the Hulk who battled for shits and giggles? I think it was the Thing and the Hulk.
Yeah, they were also talking about the Thing and the Hulk.
Because they've done a couple different Hulk versus. Mm-hmm. Hulk versus Wolverine, the Thing, and I think there's one other one that are like the big ones everybody remembers.
Well, notice they started to really just start doing stuff that people have been asking for anyway.
And doing some of the stuff in the comic books like they should have been doing, or from the animated series that they should have been doing from the fucking beginning, but Fox was a bitch, and we don't want to do the same. Nobody will come watch it. Dude, we'd ought to have been there and watched it 4 times. You'd actually made money, you stupid piece of shit.
Once this movie makes $1 billion, Fox is going to be like, what did we fucking do? They're going to be like...
I think it already has. Grab your phone, check it, see how much it's made already.
So you're currently, as of today... Let's go ahead and look at this.
As of the
1st of August
at 11:23 a.m.
Because in like...
I don't know if I'd go to Wikipedia.
37 minutes, it'll be both my daughter's birthday and Kevin Smith's birthday.
Woohoo!
Because they share the same birthday. I only found that out because of Twitter, because I was in the hospital with the wife, and she was about to have the kid. And then, like, Kevin's posting about his birthday. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
That's just pure luck.
Yeah. $590.6 million right now.
Oh, I thought they were above that.
They're only... $400 million away.
When was the last time that was updated, though?
I don't know. Let's go ahead and go to the links. Box Office Mojo.
I'd rather just go to
Here, I'm going to click the link. So domestic, it has made 280,529,000. That's US. So it's 280 million, and internationally, it's made 310 million.
Ching ching.
So,
it also came out a day before, so this is literally a week from international debut.
Technically, it is a week and a day or almost a week.
No,
so
it'll be a week and 30 some odd minutes.
Yeah, so we're looking at the fact that it's made almost $1 billion within a week. Like this, it's kind of insane, honestly, because
I think it's awesome because they're not going to be able to kill it.
Yeah, no, this thing's going to run for a while, and they're going to be like, what the hell? Like, I never thought Deadpool would make all that money.
Which proves they're stupid.
Oh, yeah. No, I tried saying that back in 2016 when people were like, no, we'd never put Deadpool and Wolverine in a movie.
Needs to be fired, and no offense, give it to Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, just let him have his creative control. That's what Kevin did. He's like, hey, we'll have our team help you guys out with making this movie. We'll help pay for it. But we're trusting you. We're giving you creative control over your own movie, and it'll be licensed.
Because you did decent on the first one.
Yeah. You did really well on the first two.
Everybody's a little bit iffy on the second one, depending on who you talk to. Mm-hmm. But they're all good movies.
I've had people tell me they love the second one better.
I mean, I like the first one just because of the story.
I own both anyway, so it's like they both win anyway.
Right?
So, and they're both Deadpool. But this one it's made almost 400 shy of $1 billion. So we're looking at it making $1 billion soon.
Yeah, the prediction was it's going to make $2 billion.
That was the prediction?
It's one I've heard here recently.
I think it'll crack $1 billion. If it doesn't crack $1 billion, it'll be like just shy of $1 billion, and yet still be one of the highest performers.
That's not just movie. That's movie and merch, and I think it's above $1 billion.
See, I predicted Godzilla and Kong would make $400 to $700 million, and I was extremely close on that one. So I think this one's going to make anywhere from 850 million, because if the honeymoon ends within a week or two, then it'll crack 850 and perform about the same as the first two.
Yeah.
Or if it has legs, it'll outperform both of them and crack 1 billion.
Oh, I think it'll crack and go towards the second.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not Endgame, and it's also not, Infinity War, but at the same time, it's still going to make some fucking bank.
Hell yeah. I mean, you have Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Excuse me, bitch? Those are like the guys. Just shut up and let it ride for 2 months.
Yeah.
Do something you don't do with movies in a row. Let the fucker ride for 2 months. You're gonna make your money.
Yeah, because if we look at, let me look up Deadpool, the first one. The very first one.
Because, I mean, it's only been a week and they're already halfway to $1 billion. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, so Deadpool, the first one, which that one blew people's minds anyway, and that one, like...
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Threw everyone into a shitstorm craze, and threw the studios into shitstorm craze, because they're like, how did this make that much money?
It's Deadpool, bitch.
Yeah, 782 million worldwide, and domestic it made 363 million. International it made 419 million. So total, it cracked almost 800.
Thinking, because how many people were like, I don't want to go see it in the first week because it's gonna be so full. You know what? It wasn't full at all. There was like maybe 6 people in the damn theater. No, excuse me. There were 10 people in the theater, and we were spread out all over the place.
Yeah, so worldwide...
I was the only person that didn't come with their partner because I don't have a partner right now that lives close or, all that shit.
Yeah.
Or so, I dragged a couple...
Original release...
3 dates to the freaking movie already.
Original release, Deadpool 2 made 785 million. So it made a tear over Deadpool 1. And
I'm saying this one's doubling down.
Once Upon a Deadpool, it made 51 worldwide, because that was the second dip in the pool where they made a PG-13. So
that one was just a fun shit giggle.
Right, and that one I loved it. I didn't think they could do it, but I loved it. And then
it was cute as hell.
Yeah, and then Deadpool and Wolverine, just to revisit that one, has made 590 million. So
and that's
currently
only the first
that's
week.
The first week. And so I'm just like, okay, so if they only have to make just to make the same as the first two, they have to make 100 and
200.
Yeah, 100 or 200 million.
Just say 200, cover your butt.
Yeah, 200 million, and then that way it'll crack $1 billion, and they'll also make a massive profit. So
200 billion, they make the same. 4 they make over.
Yeah, and so I feel like that's why I feel like they're gonna crack 850 or they're gonna fall $1 billion.
That said, and it didn't say made from the movies. You've made because of the movie 1.5.
Yeah.
And I think that was merchant shit because, like you said, and like I confirmed, went to the theater, it was fucking empty. That shit was bought up within the first hour. I want 2 of each.
Yeah.
I can guarantee, because half of them are probably online being freaking sold for $40 a pop when they're $20 a pop at the theater.
Yeah, I know. In my theater,
guarantee that.
My theater house at 11 a.m. was half full. It wasn't full, but it was half full. But it was enough that I could hear the reactions of everybody else. It was great. It was a nice theater experience. I just picked the back,
and because a couple had the center seat, I just picked the next seat over. Because you know me, I like straight center of the screen.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that right below me, or 2 rows down, there was perfect, I'm like, oh, I should have just gone down 2 rows. Fuck it. Because I saw what it showed on the screen, but I'm like, yeah, but that's the center spot. And that's all the way at the back. My favorite spot.
Yeah. I'd like to see this movie in IMAX.
That'd be awesome.
It would be great to watch Deadpool over in IMAX.
I enjoyed the hell out of watching it in 3D. I'm like, fuck it!
Oh, yeah. No, when we showed up to the theater box and stuff, and we're requesting the tickets, I was like, wait, we're doing the 11 one, right? And then the wife's like, yeah, of course, babe. That's what I was telling you. And I'm like, okay, wait, it's the 3D? And she's like, that's why I grabbed it. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And so they handed me the glass and shit. And I'm just like going, I'm going to go see Deadpool Wolverine in 3D.
Nice.
Because at first I thought it was just going to be a regular experience, which would have been fine for me. It's like, it's either I watch it here, in this office, or with the wife and him and other stuff in 2D, or you just see it in a theater in 3D, so whatever. And
That's
I enjoyed
why I
it.
paid the extra for the tickets. I mean, I'll pay the extra.
Yeah.
For one time for 3D. Every time after that, I'm just watching 2D because fuck it.
Yeah, because it's like that's how the theater experience was when we were younger. Is 2D. Like,
right?
Before they started
Only
this 3D
once
nonsense.
in a blue moon did you get a 3D movie, and it was those stupid blue and red, basically.
I remember
cherries and berries.
I remember that.
Bullshit. I hated that crap.
My dad had to spend money on the 3D glasses when we were kids and hunt them down because like they started releasing movies and with the 3D glasses. Started with Spy Kids and some of the other movies that kept coming out. And it wasn't like a worldwide thing yet, where like every movie's in fucking 3D now. But I remember having to wear the damn blue and red glasses that were like plastic and shit.
Stupid. Or they were green and orange.
Yeah.
Those are the other two colors. Because I've literally experienced everything from every color range, including the current one, which just looks like sunglasses.
Yeah.
I actually like those better.
I like the sunglasses.
Especially with wearing glasses, how they just sit over it.
Yeah, they sit over it and they don't intrude.
Shit. Yeah, because the other ones wearing glasses, they were bitch.
Yeah.
Plus, they were made out of cardboard and they'd rip or cut your ear.
Yeah.
Because they were so thin. It was like
I literally had to like, I would put it on my face when I was younger, and I'd put the blue and red on my face, and then like, trying to get it around my ear, the fucking thing ripped, and I'm like, now I'm wearing it half 3D. God damn it.
No. If there was an issue, like I couldn't get around my ears, I just took off my glasses, put them on, put my glasses over top.
Yeah. That's why I like the current 3D glasses. Cause
they're like
built.
actually sunglasses and they're built decent.
Yep.
You might pay more for the movie, but I'm sorry, those 3D glasses are worth it. So if I ever go back to see 3D or if any movie again, I got them sitting in the car.
I mean, I've seen every one of the newer Star Wars in 3D, so.
Set it right here. 3D glasses, I got a set, but thanks. That'll be my next set.
Yeah.
I'll just have a collection.
See, and that's the thing is some movies, like, it's obviously a gimmick to have it in 3D, but there's a lot of movies out there, like this one, for instance, where it was actually really decent in 3D.
I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the stuff they did on purpose because it was 3D. I'm like, nice.
Yeah, it was nice having that in there. Especially since, like, when Wolverine's, like, full-on body just rips off, it's like the pecs were just jumping out at you.
The best part is that they're trying to stop the matter and antimatter, and you'll use and they're holding it, and then his shirt rips off, and they show the close-up of the six-pack, and Deadpool goes,
yeah,
and looks at the camera, smiles, and then.
Yep.
I loved it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that little moment there. That's the thing is Ryan is excessively great at audience interaction. Like
hell yeah.
Like there's movies where like you've had a character break the fourth wall every so often. You know, it's kind of rare now. But like and it kind of feels like a cheap gimmick. But Ryan somehow has a way of making it just work for the character.
Because he's done it in other movies too, where it's just. That's just who he is. That's how he acts, and it's like, yes.
Though I remember there being that movie, The Proposal, when Ice Pool's like, "Hey, I could break the fourth wall too," and he's like, "Wait, you can?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he takes a beat of silence and looks at the camera and goes, "The Proposal," and he looks back at them and they're like, "What?" And I'm just like going, I'm like, "Hey, I remember that movie. He was in that movie with Sandra Bullock."
Yep.
That was one of my favorite.
It was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite comedies with my mom actually, because that was when Ryan was in that movie, and that was before he went full Deadpool.
That's when he was still young and trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he's still funny.
Some of the movies he's done, and a lot of them he's done, I've always liked.
Yeah,
he's always been that guy who either plays the best underling or couldn't ask for a better star.
Yeah.
As the number one spot.
See, what's funnier is Nice Pool was actually more like the character he played in Proposal, which is why that reference is so funny. Yeah. Just for me. Like, I was watching it, I'm like, he is kind of like that guy in The Proposal. He doesn't talk a lot, and he doesn't have too many one-liners, but he's still funny.
Well, the thing I liked about Nice Pool was when he was getting shot and... I don't have healing factor. You fucking... The hell? How can you call yourself a Deadpool?
Yeah. He just gets shot up and just destroyed.
It's like, oh, well, at least you're a decent human shield.
Yep. And it's like, Deadpool, you could fucking heal. You're doing this on purpose so you can get the dog.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me and Em were Calypso were laughing our asses off, and she's like, he's doing that on purpose so he can get the pooch.
Of course.
And I'm like, duh.
I like one of the interviews I saw after watching the movie in this last week about them talking about him having to put salmon paste on his lips so that way the dog would kiss his mouth and put his tongue in his mouth, and he's like, yeah, salmon paste tastes great.
Yeah, I know. I remember them talking about that, on the fact that the only way he could get the dog to do certain things is, salmon paste or this or that or whatever.
From the trainers? Oh, yeah. No, it was priceless.
Yeah, because they were having a hard time with her. Like, they said that she was amazing and stuff, but it's probably because the dog was, actually interactive and nice enough to let him do the things he needed to do.
They'd gotten to the point where it was just the dog being the dog, it was way easier.
Yeah.
But the goofy scene's like, lick his mouth, put your tongue down his throat. It's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be weird. What do I gotta do? Here. It's salmon. Just shut up, hold the dog. I gotta do lines. Fuck.
The things I do for this character.
Right?
Like, the shit I have to go through to make this funny.
I think, though, the intro, and then them cutting back.
Yeah.
To how he got to where he was, and then, I promise not to use any of my own weapons.
That was straight up one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Logan's whole body to everybody. I'm like, this is great.
Oh, yeah.
And then, right when the battle looks done, one more asshole. Fuck it.
Yep.
It's like, you said not your weapons. You fucking liar.
Yeah.
No, I only thought, it's like, you lying piece of shit.
I love how when he's got his claws stuck in the one guy, the other claws stuck in the other guy, and they're making, and he's like, he's like, I'm so sorry. It's hard being Wolverine.
That was the best.
I was dying. I was tearing up by that point.
Oh, if I wouldn't have kept myself under control, I'd have busted gut so damn hard. Oh, I had to keep myself in. Just watch the movie. I can laugh about it later. I want to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so hard.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard. The wife over there was like going. She's all like, "Hey, that's funny," and I'm like, "You're just saying that because you have a migraine." She's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm doing this for you," and I'm like, "Oh, you do love me." And like the freaking Logan skull just starts flying at the camera, and then Deadpool logo shows up, and I'm like, that was an amazing intro.
Right?
Amazing opening. Because the beginning, it's like he shows up and it's like snowy, and he's going. You think, and then there was a part where he's digging the body up, and and it doesn't show you that he's dead, but he's like, God damn it, motherfucker! And he's like, goes to this straight up string of curses, and he's just like going, you're supposed to have healing factor, Logan!
I thought that was priceless.
And I was like going, oh God. And I literally looked at her, I'm like, this was my reaction to the ending. And then she's just like,
right?
She's like, yeah, I know, babe.
It's the healing factor, but the antimantium counteracts it. Excuse me, bitch?
Yeah.
That just means I don't die at 1,000 years old looking 30. I die at 900 years old looking 40.
Yeah.
The fuck? Fuck you. My first thought when Logan came out, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Let's see it. And I'm like, you bunch of pricks.
Yeah.
But okay, fuck it. He wanted to retire.
Yeah.
That's the only way I got.
He retired under the Fox emblem. And now he's back for the Marvel one because he'd always said over the years that he'd want to do it with Marvel crew. And apparently he had a fucking blast.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So it's like he's willing to do more of them. So that's the thing is about these movies is you're always wondering just how much fun they actually have versus how much they're just like, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah, that's like Chris coming back and he's like, oh, Deadpool's like, Captain America. It's like, that's Human Torch, and I'm like, yeah, knew that was gonna happen.
And with the way Evans is, I can tell that he had a lot of fun with this one.
Oh, he enjoyed the fuck out of that.
Oh, yeah. Because he's like...
And he enjoyed cussing out for the after credits scene.
Oh, yeah.
He enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, no, he was having a ball with that role again.
Because he's like, I'm done with Captain.
Yeah, because he was playing the straight role for so long, and yet his role as Human Torch, in fact, in this movie alone, is closer to who he is as a person.
Yeah,
so he
got truth.
He kind of just got to be his own. He got to be himself, his own person. That's what I've noticed.
I mean, it was enjoyable as shit. Because as soon as that happened, I'm like, and Deadpool's like, we're not with him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, stupid.
Well, when I watched Knives Out, which was one of his post Captain America roles,
yeah,
I was like,
I've seen that one.
I was like, wait a minute, and I'm like, I rewound a couple of the scenes, and the wife's like, you just watched that, and I'm like, I know, I'm trying to figure something out, and I rewound it, and I'm like, you notice something about that scene? She's like, yeah, he's cursing people out, and he's acting kind of like a dick, and I'm like, he's more relaxed in this role. In the Marvel movies, like, he was kind of tense, and he was kind of just, you could tell he was done. Whereas in this one, he's, like, having fun and having a ball. Like, he's more like this character, isn't he?
Yep.
Like, these actors sometimes make me think that, you know, they would prefer to act a certain way, as opposed to what the character is demanding them to act like.
I think the only one who hasn't felt like that was, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
With Tony Stark, because literally Tony Stark was just like him.
Yeah, like he
became an alcoholic, and then he had to pull himself out, and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 was very autobiographical, because it
felt
very much like a personal diary for Robert himself.
Oh,
he even confirmed that on the Joe Rogan show.
Yep.
When Joe asked him about the movies and was like, well, how much of yourself was actually, and he was like,
in that character.
And he was like, Iron Man 2. Like, he was like, a little Iron Man 1.
2, and way more with the rest, because Iron Man 1 was, oh, this is literally a story about me, and then Iron Man 2, alright, I'm just gonna be me. Fuck it.
Yeah, he said the whole struggle with sobriety, the struggle with, you know, figuring out who he was as a person, and
as an actor.
And as an actor and stuff, and he was like, so Iron Man 2 and quite a few of the future ones were closer to who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Because Joe asked him, and he's like, well, how close is Iron Man to the actual you? And he's like, probably the second one and some of the other ones. Because he's like, I had fun with the first one, and that was kind of a chaotic mess, but I had fun with the first one, but the second one is probably closer to who I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am always wondering about that when I watch these movies, especially the Spider-Man ones. Because, like, they've gone through Tobey Maguire, they've gone through Andrew Garfield, and now Tom Holland.
Did the best, in my opinion, with trying to keep us close to the actual story, without pulling too far away.
I have to say though, Andrew Garfield killed it in No Way Home. Like, he killed it in No Way Home. Like, if they bring any of the other two older ones back again, I hope it's to give Andrew a third Spider-Man, because he needs to at least have a third one, a darker one, a dramatic period piece.
Through stuff I get fed, and also stuff I look at.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I wanted it to be a dramatic character piece.
Supposed to, and it's where he actually gets MJ. The MJ from his universe actually becomes.
Yeah.
So that way it's not who he lost, he actually falls in love with.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he lost Gwen in the second one, and then they just never made the third. So I'm hoping that they at least
because
give him
they
a third
did
one.
the third of I can't remember his name.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. They're supposed to do a third one with him.
Yeah, he did the No Way Home, and so he got to have his own little sequel in No Way Home, and so did Tobey Maguire.
But it leads into how he can finish and do the third one.
Yeah.
Now that the multiverse is open,
I heard way more positive feedback about Garfield's performance in No Way Home than I did any of the other two.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, because
they were talking about their MJs, the other two, and he's like, oh, well, this was her name, but same thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
Yeah, no,
because they've all gone through it. It's the similarities of Spider-Man. The only thing I thought was funny is, what are you doing? Web fluid. What, you can't just do this?
Yeah,
and
I remember that part.
Ah!
Yeah.
He's like, you pussies.
I own 2 different versions of No Way Home. It is literally my favorite of the trilogy because it's the most Spider-Man of them.
Okay, here's the funny part. I didn't get to watch them when they came out.
Yeah.
And when I had Disney Plus, right before it ended, that they put all of them on there so I could sit there and watch them all.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you were dealing with a really rough period with your ex-wife.
Well, the ex-con.
Yeah. So it's like, because a couple times we would be at the gym and I would comment on some of these movies with you, and then you would be like, oh, I haven't seen that one, or I didn't get to see that one in theater. And I'd look at you with complete perplexity and be like, the fuck? And you'd be like, sorry, I was dealing with the fucking ex-wife. And I'm like, oh. And ironically, the No Way Home is one of the few movies, while me and the wife were living right next door to AMC, is one of the few movies we actually got to see in the theater while we were living there. So it was a pretty special. Also, it's even funnier. Tobey Maguire is in that movie. So is Andrew Garfield, and his mom, my mother-in-law, is around the same age as Tobey Maguire's Aunt May. So when I was watching that movie, not only did I get a callback to my childhood Spider-Man from the movies, but I also was reminded of my own life with my own kind of Aunt May with Mare Mare. It was super interesting.
My badass mom.
Yeah, it was super interesting. Like, I was just like,
well, I think
holy
it's
crap.
Funny. It's like, how are the older people staying so young? Because we don't stress out over stupid shit.
Yeah.
And when you were stressing out, I'm like, and then we started talking, and I started telling you my lunacy about how to just fuck it all.
Yeah.
Be happy and chaotic. Indulge, envelop, and become just one with the chaos.
If you guys were to meet Mare Mare and actually get to know her quite well.
Oh, you'd all shit your pants.
And if you were to get to know her and you were to, like, kind of know who she is, and then you were to rerun through the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, you'd be like, oh shit, she is kind of like Aunt May. And I'd be like, I told you! I grew up watching these movies, didn't realize I'd run into her.
My mom's just a badass.
Yeah. Like, she's very, like, grandmotherly, she's very, like, you know, she does the whole tut-tut, and some of the, if you go over the top with your anger and stuff like that, she just kind of goes, she, like, looks at you all sternly, like, does the whole eyes thing, and, like, if you watch the first Spider-Man especially, you're just like, she's kind of like Aunt May. In fact, when we were rewatching them that one, it was a couple of months ago, we were rewatching the first two, and I was, like, watching them, and Brent, Mare Mare comes in the room and is watching it with us. Watching it with us, and I'm like, and then she just kind of looks at it and goes, I am kind of like her, am I? And I'm like, told you. Because I told her a couple times that she's kind of like the Aunt May.
But see, Mom never sees herself like that. Or from that point of view, because I was into Spider-Man, that was just my thing.
Yeah.
I was the Marvel guy.
Well,
and DC.
She's a similar age now, so that's why I make the comparison.
Yeah. But here's the funny part. I have, it's somewhere in storage because I made sure I grabbed my box full of older than fuck comics.
Yeah.
I have an original, I think it's the first or second draft. First edition of Batman.
Yeah.
I'm never touching that fucker. Stay hidden! I will never touch you unless I have to move you out of storage when I have a house.
That fucker has got to be worth, like, a lot of money now.
Oh, at least $1 million flat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 100% mint condition because I was a kid. I touched it. But
yeah.
Fuck you, dude! Even with as much as I touch it, with as good a condition as it's in.
Even if you
where's my freaking money, bitch?
Even if you slightly nerf the condition because of touching it, like, it's still got to be worth, like, a lot of fucking money.
Okay.
That's Batman. Like, there's got to be a collector out there who's like, I don't give a fuck if it was touched, put it on my shelf.
Right? Because it's literally the first episode where the first comic book and the comic book front is literally it's the comic book in the comic book front.
Yeah.
The origins of Batman. Ooh, and it's all the minions sitting around like a gigantic fucking comic book of the origins of Batman, and open the page, and it's a great fucking read.
Yeah.
Oh, first time I read it, I'm like, put it back in the case, never touch it again. You stay. I kept that son of a bitch safe since I was like, God, I got it when I was 12, 13 years old.
Do you even remember
14?
what the story's about in that one?
It's the actual origins of Batman.
Okay.
It's like how he became Batman.
Okay.
Like the first actual, it's the first edition. It says Batman 1. And it's literally the origins of Batman. So they're like, aha, we can finally figure out who Batman is.
Interesting.
Like little mini, because you have the Riddler, Penguin, Joker, and I think either it was Poison Ivy, and I don't remember if it was, what's the other one's name? I haven't brain fart. Catwoman. I don't think Catwoman was there.
Not Selena Kyle?
No. Well, she wasn't on the
cover.
Faceplate.
Yeah.
Which literally proves she's not one of the bad guys.
Yeah. Well,
so that's why when
Catwoman's not really a villain per se. She's a cat burglar.
Yeah. So that's why when it came up into like anime, because I got it when the anime first started.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was young as shit, and that one was small as fuck. Your wife. So, or I got it before she was born. I don't remember. It was either before she was born when I was 10, or a couple years after she was born. So yeah, I've had that damn thing for a good long time. Yeah.
Well, if you had it around then, because you were born in '83, then that means it was like 94, 95 when you got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Possibly even 92. Between 92 and 95.
So it was one of the
that time.
It was one of the later Batman runs in the '90s, unless it didn't come out around then.
Oh no, it's an older run.
Oh, okay.
One, but yeah.
Yeah, because Batman's been around for a long time.
It's not black and white, but I mean it's color, but it's one of the older runs.
Yeah.
It was just in a box. Somebody was selling in their garage sale, and Russell bought the whole box.
Huh.
It's got a buttload of old comics.
Yeah.
He's like, here, do you like comics? Here's a collection. I'm like, oh, dude!
Yeah.
Oh, and I went through all of that shit.
Very
I used to have, lost it out of the years, the gigantic, like this big sized freaking Wolverine comic.
Yeah.
I had one of the mega, big ass fucking things.
Yeah, I remember flipping through my dad's comic book collection. Because that was, see, my dad's not like, he's not, because I referenced to him earlier, he's not like the guy that goes,
the fanatic.
Oh, I know, the movies only. No, he's
one of those.
He's not one of those guys. He's a guy who will watch the movie and be like, well, they didn't follow that aspect. They did follow that one, and
it's got this, and this part, like I do with you sometimes.
Right.
We've talked about
he knows the comics really well.
We've talked about Wolverine and a couple other things, and I think it was Jonah was on here.
Yeah. And
we were talking about something, and you said something, and I'm like, well, if you go by this comic and this storyline, and I went through a whole bunch, and he's like, oh, Karnage is spot on. He's got every damn detail straight.
Yeah, no, I
remember that because I was like, yay,
validation. Growing up watching all these movies in the theater, I can't count how many times Dad took us to the theater, and then he'd literally compare notes based on comic book trivia, and not just stuff he read on the internet, stuff that he read. Like,
stuff you've actually
Daredevil,
seen.
Spider-Man, X-Men, all of the X-Men, Wolverine, all the different side spinoffs. Like, Dad's a nerd.
Same here.
Same guy that I would end up, like, going into his closet and finding out that he still had toys from the 70s of Star Wars. Like, I would look at a toy that he had, and I'd be like, I don't remember this Luke Skywalker. And he's like, yeah, that was an old one before it was officially Luke Skywalker. It was Luke Starkiller. And then it was like another one where he had, like, this weird gun thing that comes out of the hand, and, like, he slides on the arm, because they were built differently. And it was like a 1 or 2 piecer. Like, he's got old collection.
The old ones, if I still had, Russell would have kept them, or Mom, or, if any of the shit I had from when I was a kid, if I had any of that crap, or was allowed to keep it, or it didn't get lost in moves.
Yeah.
I'd have $1 million worth of freaking just toys from the 80s. I mean, that shit was built to last.
Yeah.
Not like the crap nowadays. It fell apart. Put it back together, throw it away. Because you're not getting another one.
My dad was the type of person that would glue them together. And then would show them how to put toy models together.
I mean, me, if the arm popped off, oh, it's a little wire piece. Will my finger still work? It's like, okay, how does that... Okay, it doesn't work right. There's a little metal piece there. I gotta...
Like, I think a big part of why I do such deep cuts is because of him. Because he does the deep cuts, and he does the references, and he will watch the movie, and he'll tell, like, he can't tell you exactly what issue the comic was in.
That's what the ex-wife had.
But he'll go
all
into
he did was bitch about the movie. You know, he was talking about the stupidities in the movie, which I partially agree with, because, in the third one, because the bad guy wasn't a guy with 10 rings who had superpowers. It was just some bitch who got hired to be the little fucking wannabe.
I walked into Iron Man 3 expecting a comic book movie, and what I got was a Shane Black spiritual sequel to a previous movie that's not even a Marvel movie, and it's an Iron Man 3 movie that is kind of just inverting expectations and not giving the actual villain.
No, but when you were discussing it, I wanted to, talk to you about it. Actually, do what we do here.
Yep.
But she was all in his heart. I'm like, fuck shit, I'm not gonna do it. Fucking bitch.
Yeah, no, I literally got told by them, they're like, we're never going to a movie with you again. And I'm like, huh. But I'm a super fan. So have fun with that. Average moviegoer.
No. As soon as she said that, I'm like, okay, well, there goes me hanging out with Thomas. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because that's who you were at the time.
Yeah, that's who I was back then.
I'm just like, well, fuck. I can't hang out with somebody who likes the same shit I do. You fucking bitch.
Yeah. And then when Connor started actually watching the podcast on you guys' TV and shit, he's like, you guys do go deep into it. And then you were like, told you.
Oh, yeah, because it was my account. He's like, I'm just going to go to Dad's account and go watch it. I'm
and
like,
then
go for it.
And then she's like, I get it, he's a super geek, whatever. And I'm just like going, you knew this, but you didn't listen.
You sour bitch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like, I grew up on this shit.
You grew up on it. I grew up in it. I mean, like...
Yeah, no, you did.
Yeah. Because there's been times where you ask me questions or you bring up something, I'm like, oh, that deals with... And you're like, you're just like my dad. You just, here's where it all fits.
Yeah, I compared them a little bit.
Whoa.
Which is good, because, he's the same age as my youngest aunt. So it's like, it's cool because he can see it from a different perspective than I can, because he was born a lot earlier, which means that when some of the stuff that I look up in an article that was before I was even born, he lived.
That's also saying I'm old. You fucker.
Only by like what?
9 years.
9 years? Yeah, about 9 years. So it's
like you're older than Calypso.
Yeah, so 2 years older than Calypso, but yeah.
Is it 2?
Yeah, 2-year difference.
Okay,
she was born 93 in November. I was born August of 91.
Okay, so yeah, I was 8.
Yeah. So it's like a hair, like how I am with Jonas.
It's less than a decade.
Where I'm 8 years older than Jonas, because Jonas is the same age, if not 1 or 2 years off from my youngest sibling. So we got about an 8-year difference. You're the same way with me.
Yeah.
That's how.
But it works because we're both super geeks, so we dive into it. Yeah. You do it from a different angle than I do, which is also what makes this fun as fuck.
Yep. Exactly.
That's why at the beginning I'm like, oh no. You're bitching about a podcast. Alright, let's do it. It took like 2 weeks. You're like, alright, I got it all set up. I'm like, alright, let's go do it.
Morning or evening for you guys. Hey, Jonas was just talking about you. Let's talk about how awesome you are.
Midnight. We're not going to be on here for too much longer.
Yeah, we're going to be gone here in a bit, but it's awesome you popped in.
Because my ass hurts.
You, this podcast literally is Deadpool themed. Like, we've literally just been going...
Wolverine.
We've really just been going over the top on talking about Deadpool. So
Deadpool, Wolverine, X-Men, everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything involved with Marvel and Fox. And
DC.
And DC a little bit.
I've gone to a little bit in DC with my comic collection.
As we do, as you know. Like,
random as hell.
I talked to him about it, and he'll give me his commentary after the fact in the private messages and shit. So we text him back and forth. But like, Yeah, I know him and I go into it a little bit after the fact, but because a lot of times he doesn't get to catch the stream. But yeah, we go into it a little bit, and he doesn't know from his. He's kind of like a morphing of both you and me, because he gets the average moviegoer perspective that you have, but he also gets the more technical, theater-driven type of talk. Because he talks about how he likes Jeremy Jahns more than he does Stuckman, but he loves Stuckman more than Jeremy Jahns because he's kind of like me. He's been following both of them, but he was literally a kid when Jeremy Jahns and Stuckman first showed up on the scene. Like, he was born in like 2002 or 3. So
Nephi's age.
Yeah, he's about Nephi's age. In fact, him and Nico are like right in that age range.
So, him, Nico, and Nephi.
Yes.
I know how to deal with that.
Remember I told you that Nephi is like a year older, a year younger than Nico?
Nico, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the same age range.
Okay, because Nephi's 2000,
and they're all
Nico's
geeks.
2003. Well, I mean...
Still need to watch the latest, but I hope it's as good as Deadpool 1 and 2.
You haven't watched it yet. Okay, you don't want to watch this podcast.
You'll want to watch this podcast after you've seen it, because we rated it S for spoilers.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Yep.
So we can't do a little snidbit or anything, so...
Yep. Yeah, let's just say we loved it. Let's say we loved it. We were fangasming.
You will enjoy the hell out of it.
We started out this first like half hour of this podcast just on fire, going off with enthusiasm. So.
Oh, hell yeah. 99. Okay. Yeah, all within the same few years.
Yeah, 99. Grew up with Jeremy Jahns, stuck Chris Muggan Aves. That's what I was going into with a little bit ago. I was trying to explain the existence and where it ties in.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 80s and Nanny and Mom and...
Yeah, he was literally born okay, so he was born the same year as Nico. They're literally around the same age.
Okay. Yeah, Nephi's literally the millennial baby, because 2000.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
the end of 2000, but still 2000.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah, he's a hair younger then. Because Nico was born June 6th, 1999, 6 minutes to 6.
Nice.
So we always make the 666 comparison and joke. Nico's the one who brings it up.
I mean, why do you think we get along?
Yeah.
I am...
And of course, Nico, adores the show Lucifer on Has Been Hotel.
Origin, or I should say, the way I see it is 666 is my playground of chaos where I love to just hang out and enjoy the fire.
Yeah.
And that's why me and Nico get along like we do. It's like, zing!
Yep.
Because the one night Nico had a breakdown, you're like, I'm like, serial killers, let's go. And Nico went off me, and then we're bouncing back and forth like it wasn't shit, and you're like, okay, now they're happy. What the fuck just happened? Oh, sorry, did we lose you?
Yeah.
And you're like, more than lost me, but okay.
I'm the passenger seat, he's in the driver's seat, Nico's in the back seat, and we're driving to the canyon. I'm like trying to figure out a way to bring Nico back from the ledge, if you will.
Quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally. And then, like, Karnage is, like, listening to me go back and forth with Nico, and then out of nowhere, Karnage is like, so what do you think about serial killers? And then Nico's like, oh my god, I love talking about it. And then all of a sudden, the next hour is just them going on, like, fanboyhood about serial killers, and I'm like, the fuck just happened? And they're just like,
I just took over and said, okay, this is going nowhere. Subject you like. Drag out of your bullshit.
Yeah, and then, like... And I'm just like going, you know, I never thought that the idea of serial killers would bring a sibling from the ledge. Like, what the hell just happened? And Nico's like, what? I like serial killers. And then, like, and Nico's like, but the thing is, though, is if the serial killer is caught or their name is in the news, they're actually a terrible serial killer. And I'm like...
Exactly. And I put my hand back to give Nico knuckles. I'm like, you're damn straight, because if you get caught, you're shitty at it.
Yeah, I was like going, you know? I never thought of that. And again, how did we get to this?
My crazy ass.
Yeah.
Karnage, a.k.a. the one who loves the chaos.
Yeah. I sat there like, you know, vaping or smoking a cigarette he handed me, and I just was like, Whole time just with a cigarette in my hand going...
And whatever, I saw it, just kept driving.
Whatever, fuck it. Yeah, serial killers. Exclamation point. You know, I was telling him this story like a while ago, and Jonas found it hilarious.
I mean, either you like serial killers or you like something else that's dark and demented, and the only question is it in or out of the bedroom? And right. How kinky or crazy are you?
Right.
You like it in the bedroom. Okay, here we go.
Another thing we're talking about tonight is we're talking about his sex crusades and how...
No, not crusades. My skill at doing...
We didn't really go into the actual sex talk. We just mentioned it existed.
Me being able to tell erotica stories at the drop of a fucking dime for shits and giggles.
And how I'd be on my work break coming outside and I feel like I'm listening to an erotica audiobook because he does voice to text. He doesn't actually text with his fingers. He like narrates via his phone. And like
because of my disability, yeah.
And I'm sitting there listening to him going, and I'll do this to you, and I'll do that to you, and I'm like,
and I'll do this way, and I'll twist you this way to do this to that thing, and
I'm holding a cigarette in my hand, and I'm like going, and then hold me. This is my face all the time. I'm like, oh really? What? Oh, and oh. I gotta get back to work. This has been interesting.
Oh, you're making me laugh so hard. My abdomen's hurting. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, Jonas says, if I'm ever half asleep, just wake me up with Persona franchise talk or anime or Avatar. The Last Airbender has been hotel talk. Any of that would wake me the fuck up. I'm sure. Because this motherfucker was trying to get me to play Persona earlier, and I'm like... I want to be able to do it, but I am busy as shit preparing for a birthday. Yeah. Like, we had to run around to places, and then, of course, my youngest decided to put the second youngest, Phoenix, the birthday girl's tablet, on a shelf, apparently, in Ross, the store. And then when we drove away, the couple we were super nice to, with the kid, and waited for her to leave the aisle, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way. And we're like, no worries, we're just here breezing by too. And apparently they ended up turning the tablet in, and the wife had to drive back there to grab the tablet and save it and spare a child from misery. And so I'm just like going, it does come back around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Karma.
Mm-hmm. It
It'll
rounds
either
around.
save you or burn you. And I just stand there and go,
Just wait for the flames.
With the most recent incident that's happened in the last 2 days that I've literally shown you, you're like, I'm like,
we'll have to revisit Hasbro Hotel again because they're coming up with another season soon.
When they do, me, you, and Calypso.
Yeah.
Like on a Friday.
We will finally have her on here and doing it because she has promised it like 18,000 times and has never done it.
I don't care if she comes on the podcast. I'm just like, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So when it comes back and we're available through the Prime on the TV, just go, Aspen Hotel. I'm like, bye, Jose.
Yeah.
Or, gotta go. Have a plan. Goodbye.
Yeah. We'll have to rewatch the first season and then lead it right into the next season. Because they've also started greenlighting seasons 3 and 4. Literally, there was a fan page I saw it on, and I sent it to Jonas because I knew he loves it, and I sent it to Nico. Nico literally, like, sent me a message in caps, busting a nut.
That makes sense.
And they wouldn't, like, say busting a nut themselves because, you know, they're very, like, about that, but they find it funny that I said that. I would gladly join to talk about it. I love Season 1. Dude.
Season 1 was very enjoyable.
Bro. You're going to need to join us for that. I'll have to let you know about when it happens so that if you can find time to make that happen, that would be
Watch
cool.
it or at least talk.
Yeah, talk in the chat if you want, or if you want to actually join. I have that Streamlabs still. We can pull something off.
Hell yeah!
Just let me know, and we got it. He's already joked around about just showing up, out of nowhere when we do Kaiju's Unite and just being like, "Hey, what's up? Want to talk about Godzilla?"
No. Not just Godzilla. Godzilla, King Kong, and mechanics, because Gundams are technically mechanics that fight kaijus in space and on Earth.
Yeah.
That's where I have my fun, because hey look, they all work together! No, they don't. You haven't been in my head. Let me show you how it fits.
Yeah, it was one of the... So, he was enthusiastic about joining me for the Cinema Macabre podcast until JB was kind of...
Being a little prick.
Not agreeable. And then, and those two did not get along very well, which is understandable.
Dude, he was being a little dick, and then I just showed up at your house when you were doing it, walked upstairs, said, "Hi, asshole!"
Yeah.
"Hey, TPAW," and walked the fuck away.
Yeah.
I showed up for 2 seconds to say hi and just disappeared.
Yeah, no, that's really what happened.
Literally to be a dick in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, and then he actually, for this particular podcast, Kaijus Tonight, I've told so many stories about Jonas over here that like that he was like, hey, let's just do one with him, like have me be a guest. That'd be great. And you know, and so it's just like one of these days we'll have to do that if you're up for it, buddy. But we're about to close this out, and I could tell with his body language right now that he's done his credits at this point.
I have to stand up, and I'm gonna go have a puff so that way I can stretch out my lungs and move these muscles. My 6th or apex, whatever I have, is going. Fuck you!
Yeah, it's been
It's ow.
We're at almost 2 hours now, so we've got a solid episode going.
Whew.
But it's been Crazy Peas. I'm TPAW.
Karnage 6778, 90% of everywhere.
And we will talk to you guys soon later, and we'll figure things out. In the meantime, have a good night, have a week, and
don't die.
Yep.
Oh. Right in your ass. No.
I didn't stop yet.
I know. That's why I said it. Hand me my phone. Figured I'd get that last clip in before you hit end, and you go, damn it, we missed that clip.